You've got a motor pulling 40 amps at 480 volts, and you want to start it with a little push button on the wall. You cannot run 40 amps at 480 through that button. It would weld itself shut the first time you pressed it. So we split the job into two separate circuits. A power circuit that carries the big current and a control circuit that carries almost nothing. Today we're going to learn to read that control circuit. The device that connects them is the contactor. It's an electromagnet with a set of heavy contacts bolted to it. Energize the coil, the magnet pulls in, and those contacts slam closed, connecting the motor to the line. Drop the coil, and spring pressure yanks them back open. That coil might draw a tenth of an amp at 120 volts, 12 watts. The contacts it closes are carrying 40 amps at 480, three-phase, about 33,000 watts. So 12 watts is commanding 33 kilowatts, roughly 3,000 to 1. Same idea as the transistor back in episode 28, just done mechanically. Now the symbols. Every contact is either normally open or normally closed. And normally always means one thing, with the coil de-energized. Sitting on the shelf, nothing connected. Normally open is 2 bars with a gap. Nothing flows until something closes it. Normally closed is the same 2 bars with a slash through them. It conducts until something opens it. And here's a safety rule worth memorizing. A stop button is always normally closed. If that wire breaks, the circuit opens and the motor stops. Wire your stop is normally open, and a broken wire means you can never shut it off. Okay. Simplest possible circuit. Put a start button in series with the coil. Press it, the motor runs. Let go, and it stops, which makes it a doorbell, not a motor starter. The fix is the single most important idea in motor control, the seal-in. A contactor carries spare auxiliary contacts, driven by the same armature as the big ones. Take one normally open auxiliary contact and wire it in parallel with the start button. Now press start. The coil energizes, the armature pulls in, and that auxiliary contact closes right alongside the button you're holding. Let go of start, and current keeps flowing through the auxiliary contact instead. The circuit is now holding itself in, which is why it's also called a holding contact. All of this gets drawn as a ladder. 2 vertical rails carrying the control voltage and horizontal rungs between them. You read every rung left to right, like a sentence. All the conditions on the left and the thing you're switching on the right. 1 rung, 4 devices. Stop, start, overload, coil. And here's the part nobody tells you. That ladder is a Boolean expression. Contacts in series means and. Every single one has to be closed. Contacts in parallel means or. Any one of them will do. So the whole circuit reads coil equals stop and start or seal and overload. And notice the coil's own contact shows up inside its own input. The output feeds back to hold itself on. That's a latch. Let's walk it. At rest, stop is closed, Overload is closed, start is open, seal is open. No complete path. Motor is off. Press start. Now there's a path through stop, through start, through the overload, to the coil. The coil pulls in, and the instant it pulls in, the seal contact closes, in parallel with start. Release the button, start springs back open, but the seal is closed, so the path survives. Motor keeps running. Press stop. That normally closed contact opens, the path breaks, the coil drops out, and every contact, including the seal, falls back open. The circuit is dead until somebody presses start again, which is the entire point. Lose power for a second, and the coil drops out. When power comes back, the motor does not restart on its own. It waits for a human. That's what 3-wire control buys you. So, a small coil commands a huge load. Series is AND, parallel is OR, and the seal in contact is what turns a momentary button into a motor that stays running. Next time, back to the board. Grab a pencil, and I'll see you there.